you're in the telecommunications industry, you know you've got to move fast. You've got to get 5G and fiber delivered to the right customers at the right locations before anyone else does. You also know everything in telecom happens somewhere. And since getting location right is so important, turning to Esri isn't just a smart move, it's the best move. You get the most advanced capabilities in the industry from the world leader in location technology. Because we invest more in R&D than anyone in our industry. With our telecom solutions and huge partner network, you get an integrated GIS platform to help you stay ahead. It handles big data analysis of past network performance to help you plan new networks and find new markets. You get spatial analytics that uses IoT, machine learning, and AI for strategic planning and solutions. And thousands of GIS-ready layers to plan networks more efficiently. You also get remote engineering capabilities with 2D and 3D mapping, so you can design from anywhere and make fewer trips to the field. Real-time network monitoring of operations means less downtime and happy customers. And the largest selection of mobile field apps on the market streamlines data collection. Because one mobile app doesn't fit all. Then there's Street View, so you can see what's out there with just a click, and measure and edit GIS features. Plus, our open architecture lets you share maps and apps securely on any device, any system, anywhere, anytime. With Esri's geospatial technology for telecommunications, stay ahead, lower costs, see your business boom. It's the right move for a fast-moving world.
It's a great pleasure to welcome you to the Esri webinar, Mobile Site Management with ArcGIS. Today, in addition to me, Astrid welcomes you. She supported me in the demo with this webinar with his great experience in the telecom market. So Astrid, please introduce you shortly by yourself.
Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, good morning. It's also my pleasure to welcome you to our webinar today. My name is Astrid and I work as Business Development Manager at Esri Germany. My main focus is on telecommunications, and I work together with my sales colleagues in Germany and Switzerland on new topics and developments in this market. So this morning I join you with Adrian.
Thanks, Astrid. I'm Adrian. I come from the surveying, but I work only 4 years as a surveyor. Afterwards, I worked 10 years by one of the biggest telecom carrier in Switzerland in different roles and activities. Now I'm since 10 and a half years by Esri Switzerland as an account manager, and I'm responsible for the TTU market. TTU is for telecommunication, transport, and utility. For questions, please use the chat. We will answer them at the end of the presentation. In today's webinar, we will show you how GIS can add great value to your business. Every year, every major telecommunication company invests millions in the expansion and maintenance of its own mobile network. Many of the tasks have a spatial reference. Discover how location intelligence can help you optimize mobile site management and create a competitive advantage. In this webinar, you will learn how to identify and evaluate potential customer and capacities for the further expansion for your 4G and 5G network using GIS. Then how GIS can help to find the most suitable mobile site, and how to keep track of thousands of mobile sites, one tool for monitoring various KPIs, such as rollout, status, traffic, revenue, drop-down, and well as routine maintenance. But first of all, who is Esri? Esri is the global leader in geographical information system, GIS software, location intelligence and mapping. With more than 100 offices worldwide and around 10,000 professionals from 67 countries, Esri provides organization of every size and industries to goals to get deeper insights from their geographic and transactional data to improve operational and business results. Esri software, the ArcGIS, is the family name of our software, is used by around 57% of the Fortune 500 companies. We also rely on a large network of partners and alliances, among others with Microsoft, SAP, Amazon, Autodesk, IBM, and many more. Esri Switzerland is a part of the Esri Germany. With around 300 employees, we are the second largest Esri distributor in the world. RGI support multiple kinds of systems within our organization. For decades, users have employed ArcGIS as a system of records or geospatial information as an asset. In today's world, however, that's not enough. To make a system of records move available, the information it holds must be shared with a broader audience in a collaboration way. In other words, a system of records needs a system of engagement. And the ArcGIS platform is in a unique position. It is both a system of records and a system of engagement. Most GIS professionals are already experts at using ArcGIS as a system of records. They use to do it, collect, manage, and compile geospatial information in mapping with representing reality in a way and allow for better analysis and more sound decision making. The power of geographic is the nearly anyone can look at a map and quickly grasp complex information, whether simply trying to see where a company customers are located or analyze network information for the further network rollouts. Maps make it easier to gather insights on trends and spatial relationships. A system of engagement allows more people to share and understand complex data and ideas, and that is exactly what ArcGIS does. With ArcGIS, the GIS professional analyze the data, get a better insight, and it's preparing data and maps for the sharing and collaboration. The ArcGIS platform supports sharing and collaboration on one and the same data set in different applications, means central and consistently data storage. Access to the data can be controlled individually at each level of the applications, desktop, web, or mobile. Now you can see here different variation of potential analysis in an example of City of Westminster. First, let's look a drop call across a region as interest. We can easily visualize high dropout areas with heat map. You can see here is more than on the others, and in the heat map you can see where is the most drop call rate in the region. Another look is cluster analysis can be run to separate out noise in your data and reveal geographic-based clusters of network coverage issues. Next, we can leverage the geospatial and temporal information within millions of call records to understand network capacity variations. By aggregation, the location of calls into 10,000 square meter hexagons area and running the emerging hotspot tools, we can identify statistically significant data usage trends over time. We can also explore demographic within the study area. This map visualize population density across Westminster. We can leverage data source with all allows us to visualize forecasted population change over the next 5 years. We can also use various data sources and tools within ArcGIS to help in pinpointing locations with contain high proposition of customers that we consider to be the target market. This may feed into the suitability studies. So the next topic in the data visualization the next topic is the data visualization and analysis. Communications serve providers collect massive amount of data about customers, about the network itself, network usage, mobile sites, and much more. Adding ArcGIS to your analytic portfolio brings the power of location to bear. Visualize data on a map for greater understanding or incorporate location or space-time variables to seek deeper insights. We show you in this example an effectively way to understand data better when combined with each other. This demo illustrates how you can find a new location for a new mobile site by visualization of the expansion area, visualization in the existing infrastructure, analysis of possible new sites, identification of various site candidates, and filtering by criteria. Okay, so please, Astrid, start with the showcase.
Thank you, Adrian, for the introduction. I will share my screen. And during the next minutes, I would like to guide you through our demo example. But first of all, I would like to start with some background information. I work as a GIS admin at the SWNet AG. The SWNet AG is our example company. The strategic planning department contacted me recently with a request for support. My colleagues asked if the GIS team can supply a web application that supports their site acquisition process. Our planning team is especially interested in a 2D and 3D visualization of development areas. The team works primarily with our leading mobile site planning software, but they have heard that GIS can support the process with geographic information. We discussed the requirements and came up with the web application you can see here on my screen. The end user only requires a browser to be able to work with the application. The application itself contains a so-called web scene. A web scene is capable of working with 2D and 3D datasets. The application you see here is kept very simple with only a few tools for navigation here on the left-hand side, to zoom and pan, and to spin 3D data later on. On the right-hand side, we have an address search to jump to various locations. We provide also a base map gallery for our colleagues so that they can switch between different background data information. Very common is, of course, the topographic map, but also sometimes it's very helpful for them to switch to the imagery data to, for example, find out about roof details. And last but not least, we also have a measuring tool. In order to dive in to the data, we supply a layer list And the layer list contains all the data sets available within this web scene. They are sourced from very different sources within the company. Some of them are our own data sets showing our existing network, plant sites, and so on. Some of them are sourced from government agencies, and some of them are sourced from third-party providers. In addition, we provide a legend so that our colleagues can understand what is visible on the map. And we also have a filter widget, which I will present a bit later on. At the bottom, you can find here a series of bookmarks. They are very essential for the navigation. With the help of the bookmark, I can jump to specific points that have been predefined, and also a pre-selection of the layers visible is also saved within this bookmark. Now I would like to dive in a bit more. The application shall support our planning team with the site acquisition process. The team is currently working on this development area in Zurich. You can see here on the screen the boundary in red. We also loaded for them our existing mobile site locations. The green points represent the 5G antennas and the blue points represent the 4G antennas. In order to supply our network, we also need to have glass fiber connections. So we also show the backbone network and access points, the red squares on the screen. If a planner would like to know more about the existing fiber network, it's possible to visualize, for example, the distribution network. So we can display all the demand points, all the house connections, and for example, how the trenches are within the streets. So the planner can see which house already has an existing glass fiber connection available. The next predefined view already leads more and more into location analysis results. Here we support our planners with a range of analysis results. On the screen, you can see here our building heights for these development areas. The buildings marked in yellow, they are the smallest buildings. The buildings marked in red are the tallest buildings. So the planner can get a first impression what the situation in the developed area is like, and where there are buildings that are higher than other buildings and more suited for new mobile sites. Another result we provide is the mentioned population density. Adrian showed it a little bit earlier on. We also included this for our development area. So with the help of the legend again, the planner can see that, for example, in these areas and in this area, there is a lower population density, and here is something going on in this area with a different color scheme. We know that during the day, during the week, population density can change. People commute to and from work, they spend their leisure time somewhere, they are at home and expect at all times an excellent network coverage. So by providing various tessellated data sets, our planners can go through and see where a high demand is for a very, very good network coverage during the day, during the week, over the year. And a third result I would like to show you as well. We also provide in 2D here some information about the roof structure. The green roofs represent buildings that have a flat roof. The red colored buildings represent buildings that have gabled roofs. For us at the S3Net AG, we primarily choose buildings that have flat roofs because it's easier for us to firstly build a new site, and secondly also to maintain it and check the site from time to time for the scheduled maintenance. But let's move on into a 3D world. Our planning team asked us also to supply a more realistic view of the areas, so we can provide them here as well with a 3D modeling scene. We have here a 3D building model with all the roof details available in this level of detail. In addition, we enrich the data set with vegetation data. You can see here point clouds that were derived with LiDAR data and then loaded into the 3D scene. We also show here as an example that it's possible to add, for example, street furniture or any other objects you might need to support your colleagues in order to get some details, get a more realistic view of the environment. With the help of the 3D model, it's also possible to display telco network data in a more realistic way. Here we have chosen the existing microwave links we know about. This building is quite famous in Zurich and it's very high, so there are many antennas on top of the building and also a lot of links start or end there. So here we can see very well that we have here a microwave link existing and one of the points is on this building here. So we can, for example, see if the data is correct in X, Y, and Z, and we can also get some information about this particular link by clicking on this link, and we can access some attribute information. But the 3D model also offers more possibilities to show what is possible when it comes to visualization of analysis results. If you remember, I showed a little bit earlier on the roof structures. Here we can put the roof structure information on top of the 3D building model. So from above, you have one view, but if I go into the 3D model, then I can see that there are maybe buildings that have actually a mixture on the roof. We have here a building with a gabled roof, but there are also parts where there is partly a flat roof available. So this might be quite handy for the planner as well. If, for example, an owner of a building offers its building for a new possible mobile site location. When the planning has more progress, it's possible also to add a 3D model of a new antenna site. I chose this example to show you that seeing the data in a 2D world is one thing. I know there is a building, but I can get here in a 3D model, I get more information about the roof structure itself. And I would like to know if on this roof, are there other components like air conditioning equipment or lift equipment that actually have an effect on the position of the antenna of possible attenuation losses or even obstruct the signal. So by displaying it in the 3D model here, I can see, yes, on these buildings, there are other structures on top of the actual roof. And it's also possible to check the surroundings. I can see there are tall buildings here, which are possible to see. The line of sight is possible, but there might be other buildings which are not within the line of sight because they are obstructed by buildings. When it comes to the selection of new sites, it's also helpful for us to know what is actually the usage of the development area, because our experience is that it's very often easier to approach an owner of a commercial building in order to be able to install a new site. So we added a filter criteria for our planners so that the planner can select, for example, show me all commercial buildings within this area. And then the selection is performed and only the buildings that fulfill this filter criteria will remain on the screen. It's also possible to combine the criteria, the filter criteria. So I can say I would like to see all commercial buildings and I would like to see all the administration offices because they are quite good possibilities for the installation of a new site. This is one view, but we here at our company, we work with actually a combined filter. So I jump back into the 2D world. We look onto our development area from above. We see a similar outlay. We have here all our buildings marked according to their usage. But I would like to filter now all the buildings that are commercial. The building is at least 12 meters high and has a flat roof because for us, this is they are very good candidates for further engineering planning to actually select a new site location or new site locations that can be approached later on. So I choose again the filter, and as you can see, the result represents all the buildings that fulfill the criteria. And for example, some of the blue buildings that were here are not displayed anymore because they don't fulfill this combined criteria. Just have a look at the 5 building blocks up here. They actually fulfill our criteria, and we know that we would like to increase our 5G network coverage in this area. They are business offices, and a little while ago, preliminarily, a planner put down possible sites marked here by these locations. But before we move into further analysis and further planning, we also included another data set, which I would like to show you now, that helps maybe to filter out areas where there are maybe planning obstacles. And we included for our planners a kindergarten data set sourced from the city. And we can show here that there are actually 2 kindergartens within this development area. This one is quite far away from possible candidates, but this kindergarten location is quite close to these buildings here, and maybe we can expect some objections to a new mobile site. So with this information, we can still proceed a little bit more. In the GIS world, we can offer a preliminary strategic planning of the mobile site locations by providing a viewshed analysis, which is shown here on the screen. For each planned antenna location individually, it's possible, and so the planner can get a first impression of what it's like. The real engineering planning will, of course, take place in our mobile site planning software. At the end of the demo, I would like to say a few words about a relatively new topic, the GIS BIM integration. Technically, it's not so new for GIS, but the awareness in the industry is currently increasing. It is possible to also visualize a BIM in the existing web scene. You can see this building here, and it's sourced from a Revit file. And for companies that provide indoor and outdoor network coverage, it might be quite helpful to have this information as well at hand. In the main web scene, I can spin around and pan as you know, as already seen, but I can also jump into the building, and therefore I load a second view which I can access via this button here, but I already loaded it so that we can have a closer look. And here it is possible to have a look inside the building to understand which building components are available, and also to go maybe through the different floors to have a look at the roof or at the ground floor or at any level and find out some more details about the components, what the materials are, So I can see here what type of glass it is, or what type of wall material is has been used, so that I can find out more information, and this might be helpful with our indoor network planning, which will be done again in a specialized software. And this gets me to the end of the first demo. A little bit later on, I will share the link to this web scene, and please feel free to have a look, to navigate through the scene and to test it in your own time.
The next topic, what we want to show you is the management dashboard. Can you click one further, please, Astrid?
Yeah.
Okay, that's some different kind of dashboards. The ArcGIS dashboard is a configurable web app that allows you to use charts, gauges, maps, and other visual elements to reflect the status and performance of assets, personal services, and events in real time. A dashboard enables you to monitor the activities and performs indicators that are important to your organization's business objectives and workflows within a single display. It's a great way to provide end user with an interactive dynamic display of data. Many organizations have leveraged dashboards to effectively convey information in many different industries, supporting a variety of workflows beyond operation management. Dashboards are great for operational when it's an event monitoring use cases, but can also be used for tactical um, for crime or something like that, statistical project summaries, rollout plan, and so on, and informational use cases. Essentially, dashboards can be leveraged by everyone. Astrid, can you show to the community our dashboard?
So now the dashboard should be on the screen. I would like to move on and move on down the process of the mobile site management. In the first demo, we had a look at possible mobile site planning support and location analysis support. And now I move forward to the monitoring of the mobile site rollout process. Firstly, I would like to share again with you some background information. As you already know, I work as the GIS admin for our company, and the manager for radio planning and transmission approached me and asked if I could set up an application highlighting important KPIs of the rollout process. In addition to the KPIs, a map is required to give the user some spatial orientation, because the network of our company is nationwide. I suggested a dashboard application, which you can see here on the screen, because due to various reasons. The dashboard app is again part of the ArcGIS platform and can consume existing data services and maps. And it can be set up very quickly. This dashboard has been finished only by configuration, and it's possible to control access rights on various levels. The end user again accesses the dashboard with the help of a web browser. The user does not need to be a GIS expert in order to extract the needed information. But first of all, before I dive in a little bit more, I would like to say a few words about the three main components. On the right-hand side, we have the map. It's central to the dashboard. It helps the user again with spatial orientation. Where are existing company assets and where are, for example, assets that are in planning? In the demo here, the location of the mobile sites of our company are shown for all of Switzerland, and the user can access attribute information again for each individual location. So here a pop-up opens and some attribute information is shown on the screen. For example, what's the technology of the site? Is it on air or is it in construction? And does it have, for example, some objections? The user can then navigate within the map again. We have only a few tools. We have zoom in and zoom out. We have again an address search. We have bookmarks for an easy way to jump between different locations or locations that are needed very often, like for example, our development area in Zurich. We have again the base map gallery already seen in the previous demo, and we have a legend. On the left-hand side, we find our KPI indicators, and they are very, very essential to the dashboard because they offer an option to visualize either, for example, milestones of the rollout process or reasons why milestones, for example, cannot be met, which is very important for us because yeah, if you're having a delay, it is quite expensive for us, and our main objective is to be on air as soon as possible. On the far left, we have 4 indicators that show some statistic information. We know how many sites are actually visualized and are available. We know how many sites in green are actually on air, how many sites are in the construction phase, and how many sites have been planned. For example, 100 in our demo case here. These indicators are static, and this means regardless if I change the map extent or move around or select an area, these indicators will always show the same information. It's also possible to work with dynamic indicators, and they will update once, for example, a map action has been performed. And this is what I would like to show you with this pie chart here. If I select all the sites that have the status planned, then our map updates accordingly. I can also add all the sites that are, for example, under construction. And now it's already easier to read the map and, for example, to again get some information about the site or zoom in and have a closer look at the location. I can switch back to all the sites, of course. As I mentioned before, we visualize here more milestones of our rollout process, but our manager also would like to know where are planned sites that have objections. We have 100 sites planned in total, but as we can see here, we have 15 sites that actually have objections. So I can select them, the map is updated again, and I can also see down here in the list which 15 sites these are. I get the site ID, and I also can find out how many days we are behind schedule. So the site that has the worst timing at the moment is top of the list, and then once I scroll down, I get the site with the least delay at the bottom. If I would like to know a little bit more about the site, I can select the site. The application zooms to this location. It is marked, highlighted, and again, I get information. What information I get, this can be configured upfront by the administrator, for example, and then so I can quickly get information about the site, and I don't need to ring up somebody in my company to find out more. This is one view, and it's also possible to link our map data, for example, to areas. Here I show all the cantons within Switzerland as an example. It can also be a rollout area or a sales area. I would like to show with this example that it's possible to filter information also linked to this area. So here I can see all the cantons that have sites in their area with objections. I can filter a particular canton. The list below also updates accordingly, the map updates accordingly. And again, I could select the site and jump to this site directly. I can display various areas together, or I can have a look at all the areas again. And at the end of the demo, I would like to to mention that it's also possible to symbolize and visualize KPIs for sub-milestones of a process. We've chosen here the construction phase. But at first of all, as you can see, I can see orange dots on the map. I have to select all the sites, and then I'm able to select, for example, all the sites which have been approved but not started yet. So I can see that we have, out of our 90 construction sites, about 12% where the site has been approved. But I can also see that already 13 sites have been completed but are not on air yet. So this was just a short dive into our dashboard, and I hope you enjoyed the short presentation. I will also share this dashboard application with you. It's shared publicly, and I will supply the URL a little bit later on. And now back to you, Adrian.
In the next case, I will show you some of our out-of-the-box web and mobile apps, how they can be used, for example, for routing maintenance or routine maintenance. These apps are a simple solution how to share information from the office with the field workers. First of all, we have an operational dashboard. Then we have the workforce app as a web application, and we have also the workforce app as a mobile application for the technicians on the field, the navigator, and also the field maps. And I can show you that in a live demo. In the middle are the mobile sites, on the left side the mobile status. Here are the inspection types we defined by 3 and the status. And you can see that also as the barrier of the working type. In the middle, you see the orders, high, critical, all orders, they are empty currently. And here you have an overview of the completed job. In total, there are 8 inspections, what we done in the last 2 weeks in this year. In the next overview, or in the next application, it's the workforce web application. Here you have also the overview of our mobile sites, and on the left side you see all the inspections what we did. You can filtering or select them. You have also an overview about our technicians. In this case, only 2 technicians are available, and you can see where are the technicians are in the field. It's real time. If that if the tracking is not allowed or desired, you can also be deactivated this. Then as a team leader, I have also an overview about the status for assigns, in progress, completed or rejected or interrupted jobs. I can filter that. Then you have also other filters by, as example, the due date. And in the due date, you can see when is the next job to do. Priority is critical or a high prioritization, and to which technician is it assigned. There are some, yeah, this is also a kind of dashboard. When I start now a new order to a technician, then I can select what the kind of work. In this case, we choose the climate control inspection. Then on which side has to do this job. You can select by the address finding, or you can zoom in the map and select one of this site. In this case, we decided in Pfungen. It's a small village in the middle of Switzerland, and with click on the site, you can see also detailed information. Then we assigned that to, in this case, to me with a high prioritization. Due date is, for example, today, and I have to do this job until 3 o'clock. Then with the ID, when I switch back to the other web application, then you see here the last number, it was 8, and we start or go ahead with 9. Then you can give the orders or comments to the technician, in this case, do climate control inspection. You can add also some pictures that helps the technician in the field to find the location or what kind of air condition is it. Then I close this job, and now I'm switch in the role. I'm now the service or the technician, and I have only a tablet or a mobile with me. Oh yeah, here in this case, you can see here also in the dashboard, the you can see the new order. It's a high critical order, and in the map you have also the possibility to get detailed information regarding this site. And you can see here they is 9. The number is jumps up one more. So I'm now in the role of a technician. I'm working with a tablet, and on the tablet I have also the workforce app, and in this mobile app I get the new orders. Currently, you see here when I start or from yesterday, there is empty, and when I update it, then you can see here the new order which I get. It's the climate control. Here I get all this information regarding this job, and you see on the left side the maps and the selected picture from the team leader regarding the more detailed information of the site. Then I can start with the job, and then you can see, or the team leader can see directly, it's real time in the dashboard in the office, that the status has changed to from assigned now to in progress. That helps you with when he has 10 or 12 technicians, what is the status of the current work today. For the technician, it could help when yeah, he can navigate that to the location, and in this navigation tool with ArcGIS Navigator, the different to normal navigation system. The benefit is that you can add your own data set with your own assets. That helps the technician to navigate to the exactly location and not in the near. Yeah, then he is driving to this site, and when it's arrived, he can start with the field map. That's the next mobile navigation, mobile application, and in the mobile field app, he see also the job, and he can select the job. Then he can do the work or get all this information, and in the note, he can add in the note what he did, and in this case, the technician type in the hose replaced. And the technician has also the possibility to get picture of the new or from of the done work, and so on. And after his job, he can click on the send button, and with the send button, the status will change also. Here you can see there is no more jobs for to do, and the team leader in the office can see here directly in the dashboard the job is done, and he can find the job on the job is completed. Here is the ninth job. That shows you, yeah, you can see that also in the workforce application with the status job is completed. Good. And I jump back to my presentation. Yeah, another way of routine maintenance can be to use drones for site inspection. Inspection flights with drones could be a more efficient way than a traditional inspection. It could be also or be used more efficiently for the documentation of the site, or he can collect more details on the site and deliver more data for further analysis. I can, yeah, in this case, in this demo, we use data from SenseFly and Acernis. Special thanks to these companies. Both of them are a leader in Switzerland for drones. They work together with some of telecom companies. Acernis is a general contractor for drone and remote sensing data and data acquisition, and specialized in millimeter accurate digital twins. Acernis generate detailed digital twins of telecommunication assets and power grid assets. And he is also focused on OPEX reduction through the asset management, inspection, and maintenance value change. And Acernis works and solution have been proven in process analysis and project with customers such as Swisscom and 50 Hertz Wallet here in Switzerland. You can see here the data. It's with a camera for laser scans, and you collect later data, and you can see here all the details about the GSM antenna and also for the microwaves. And in the next view with our desktop application Drone to Map, there is also a possibility to get information or more information about the heights. You can colorize that by the regarding the heights, and then you can see is the mobile site higher than the trees around this site. But you can use that also for inspection, which I told you. And let me check here with this overview. You have here the flights and the drone collect pictures. You can select here a picture, then you have here the details, and you can open the JPEG of this or the picture of this one. And now you have detailed information in high quality of photo regarding the sites. And in this case, you can see here when you zoom in, there is a bird need between the GSM antenna. It could help to document also all this information. Yeah, that's it. I jump back to the other slide. We are on time closely. We have some minutes to answer questions. And Astrid, did you check the chat in the meantime? There are some questions or not?
Mhm. I know there are at the moment no further questions in the chat window.
Okay.
I have two questions for you, Adrian. Today we have seen all the possibilities that a GIS, in this case ArcGIS, offers. What would be the easiest way to test it?
If you want to test, there is a possibility. I jump to the. I can show you that on the screen. Here, use Google or something else, search for ArcGIS or Esri trial. Then you comes to this page. There is a free trial for 21 days. What you have to do only is to register yourself. It's for free, and you can play with the most of our product. And if you need help, please do not hesitate to contact me or Astrid directly.
Mhm. We got one more question in the chat. The
Yeah,
question is, what are possible interfaces to connect data to dashboards?
there are many. um, Maybe you can tell how you do it with our dashboard, Astrid.
With our dashboards,
Yeah.
I used, as an example, our online subscription, which is actually a portal, and there um, I can access different data services. And the data services can be provided by a GIS, for example, like ArcGIS. They can be provided by government institutions or any data provider. So I can include, for example, a feature service or a map service from a different source. Basically, I work with services to display them within the dashboard.
Okay. And if our more questions, we will answer the remaining questions afterwards and send them to you. Yeah, that was a cumulative load of information. I hope we could show you, give you more inspiration for your job. Maybe you have to spoke with your colleagues or with your chief. That could be helpful for your daily business. Thanks a lot for enjoy and yeah, for the presentation. Spend the time, and maybe we will see you next time. Next time, the next webinar will be on the 4th of February. And if you are interested, you will find that also on our webpage. Search for webinar, and then you can see where is the next coming up webinars. Thanks a lot to all of you. Bye.
Bye.